Hello, everyone. So, today I want to watch a video by conservative political commentator Brett Cooper called Fashion Shows Represent the Devolution of Beauty. Um, so, when it comes to conservatives giving commentary on fashion, things start to get weird pretty fast because fashion is like a manifestation, modern fashion trends more specifically are a manifestation in a lot of ways of everything conservatives hate because like let's think about it women can be more promiscuous, like just show more like people can be more expressive about like how they feel and wear like different colors and things, and it like leads to nonconformity and change and in a lot of ways conservatives I feel just generally have a fear of the unknown and like when everything is the same, and you know that is understandable and simple, and different like fashion being different and unique and manifesting that way is a pretty overt challenge to that. So I imagine, with that being said, that Brett Cooper here is probably going to not be at content with what's going on in the fashion industry right now. Although I imagine she's probably going to interpret a lot of what's going on like just wrongly too. So we're gonna have to look out for that. But yeah, let's see what she says.
Welcome back to the comments section. I'm Brett Cooper. I have reacted to a lot of fashion show videos just on TikTok and for YouTube Shorts, but I have never put them all together in one longer episode. And I saw some recently on my TikTok, and I thought, you know what, today is the day to do that. We all know what I'm talking about. Fashion shows these days are incredibly disturbing most of the time, incredibly confusing, and I don't think any reasonable or rational person would ever wear anything that we see in these fashion shows. So we're going to talk about that today and react to some of the worst ones that I have found online. Before we dive in though, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and ring that notification bell so that you never miss a comment section or off the clock episode. All right, so I have seen a few of these, but my team did an excellent job of pulling some horrifying ones for me, so let's get into it. This one is Balenciaga canceled. We all know we hate Balenciaga now, but we hate
Well, I don't know. Maybe she only watched the shoe and head video or something. I think Balenciaga's, I don't personally care for them, but whatever.
Balenciaga, not just because they have done pedophilic things, but because their shows are just so bad and so depressing. I think we've all seen this one. This went viral last year for excellent reasons. Like, what is that? This is like Gollum. Hunchback of Notre Dame meets Balenciaga. Like, what are those shoes even? It's so bad and it's so depressing.
Well, like, your commentary has to be a little more elaborate than that. You can't just be like, what are those shoes even? And then that's it. Like, what are you, like 16? Like, come on, like, you gotta at least tell me why the shoes are stupid. I mean, I guess her argument here is like, this is depressing and sad, but okay, sometimes people are depressed and sad. That's just a reality of life. Like, again, like, like if you're religious or you're conservative and you can be like, oh no, everything's perfect all the time and just ignore things. But in the real world, things aren't good sometimes.
About to become a model. That's literally what they look like. It's horrifying. All beauty is just escaping the world. Okay, this is...
And it also could just be like an artistic expression, but we can talk about that in a bit too.
An excellent point. Because one of the things that I said about Barbie, to bring it back to Barbie, which is the most important piece of discourse online right now, one of the reasons why I liked it was because it was so beautiful and colorful, and that's actually something that Ben and I agreed on.
All right, no offense, but you can't take your movie critique. You can't take movie criticism from Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro, unfortunately, it's known he's a failed screenwriter. I don't know if that's his fault or just he was unable to do it, and maybe that's why he's so angry. But unfortunately, that's the reality. So I don't know. I don't know if we can take what Ben Shapiro says seriously. But yeah, because is that a critique? I mean, that's cool. Like, aesthetics definitely deserve praise. Like, they should be paid attention to. Like, different colorful things are cool. I like things that are colorful, but I feel like you might need more commentary than that. Hold on, well, we can elaborate.
Creative design of it, the way that it was shot, it was incredible. And I think one of the reasons why people are so drawn to this movie and are so excited about it and can agree on that fact regardless of whether they like the movie or not is because everything else in our world is so depressing. It's so dark. Every movie these days is like Oppenheimer. Like, I have no desire to go see Oppenheimer because it's dark and depressing and sad. Like, our world...
Okay, I'm sorry. I mean, unless she's like really going hard on the argument that like behavior influences emotion, so I'm only gonna watch good things. But like eventually, you gotta mix it up. Like you gotta like people go to see dark things because they feel certain ways or because they're interested in things. Like Oppenheimer is a historical like piece pretty much. Like and you know history was dark. Like I don't know what to say. Like there can be diversity here. I don't know what the argument is.
World is not great right now. Like, all of our online presence is sad and doomsday. We see videos like this and we see movies like Oppenheimer. Like, some of us just want to sit down and enjoy a colorful Barbie movie. We want to see something beautiful. And a lot of beautiful things have been taken from us, like modeling. Victoria's Secret fashion show doesn't even exist anymore. Anyway, somebody commented and said, if you were going for a dystopian nightmare world with witches and ghouls, then you nailed it. Somebody else said, certainly captures the mood of the entire planet these days, now doesn't it?
Selective.
Thank you. You know, if I liked Balenciaga more, maybe I could make this argument that it was actually some like social commentary and they were trying to, you know, reach people. No, I hate you. Like, you're a terrible brand. I don't want to support anything you're doing or rationalize it. Somebody else said Balenciaga nailed it. They know with the real estate prices, the way that they are, all of us are going to be so broke after paying rent that we're just going to look homeless. This is a collaboration between Resident Evil and homeless heroin addicts. I loved every second of it.
Degrading
oh my God,
people.
it's literally for homeless people. All right, here's another one. I think I've seen this one. Upside down and sideways dresses is the description that I was given. Again, nobody wears any of this stuff. I get that they were always like avant-garde and crazy fashion shows, but I feel like the majority of them used to be clothing that like celebrities and movie stars and, you know, wealthy get, like they would actually want to go and buy. And now it just feels like a spectacle that people make fun of online. Like that.
Okay. So she might be right that, well, no, she's not right. It's true. There could be truth to the idea that people misunderstand what's going on in this. Like, you know, like that is, you can't really wear that out, right? Hold on, sorry, I can't. Where is it? You remember it if you watched it. There it is. And so a lot of people think, oh, okay, that's stupid because this isn't the point to like go market clothes that people can wear or whatever. But I think there's a shift. I don't know if it's happening in America. I'm not like super knowledgeable specifically in fashion, but of like fashion becoming more, or like fashion shows generally or whatever becoming more like a like an art exhibit. Maybe that's not, or an exhibit more generally, like a museum exhibit. I actually read a piece, and I will put up a section on the screen, and I found a piece here. Or I found the piece, sorry, and here's an excerpt I want to read because I think the author kind of sums up what's going on here, and I will link this piece in the description because it's really good. So he says, first, as I like to explain, fashion is not only about looking pretty, it is art. This is why I precise this article was only about creative fashion. Designers are artists, and they wish to express something through their designs. As you can easily imagine, a basic t-shirt or a pair of trousers are not deep enough to be turned into powerful artistic supports. And then he says a bunch of stuff in quotes that I don't need to read. Many of them thus need to be able to create their own sculptures, real artwork that plays the role of canvas. An analogy can be made with most of the things you see in your local museum of modern art. Apart from the paintings, most of them are not intended to be purchased and displayed in anyone's living room. In fact, it would be impossible, for they are too large, too fragile, and simply not fit for a house. So, you know, it's more of like... and he goes in that article too, or he goes on in that article later to discuss how like even if it is just like an exhibit or like something you see almost to aspire to, it's still setting a tone and like setting a direction, and like people will go out and like buy outfits that kind of emulate that vibe in a more simple like wearable way, but while still adhering to what it represents. So you know, it's supposed to be like almost like the vanguard of the fashion, while everybody else is doing like the more doable stuff. I guess that's how I would put it.
That's their entire purpose.
It's hip, it's now, but it smells funny.
Imagine showing up to your movie premiere in that and you're like hitting people as you walk in. I gotta do that.
I don't really like
get one of these.
So
I just think it would be funny to try. Again, like everything about it is just sad. How do you even see? She's walking like that because she literally can't see and is worried she's gonna fall. I will say, even though this is so strange and unnecessary, it is one of the more beautiful ones I have seen, because 9 times out of 10, the videos that go viral about these fashion shows are like the Balenciagas, and they just make you want to crawl into a hole and die inside.
What do they look like, Jimmy?
Dorks. They look like a couple of dorks.
This feels a little more like Alice in Wonderland meets Jane Austen, kind of. If I think that's how I would describe it. But again, I don't know anybody who would wear that. Somebody said, these models deserve an Oscar for keeping a straight face during that all. Somebody else said, I guess if a dress does not fit, you can always just carry it. It's like the Polly Pocket clothing, just, structured, totally. All right, here's another one. Balloon people. Oh my God, I've seen these. I hope this is not the condom hands. I don't think it is. I'll tell you guys about that later. Oh no, I haven't seen this one. There is nothing I want more than to spend $5,000 on a designer dress that is made out of balloon latex material.
Again,
absolutely.
Is
this is
that
so
what's going on
flattering.
here?
Like, I think her feet
All right,
are
I don't
even
know if I
wrapped in the
can watch,
latex. Did they actually design this, or were they backstage taking purple saran wrap and being like, this is gonna look great? This is like the night before you have an assignment due and you've totally forgotten to do all of it, so you're finishing it literally the morning of. That is what this feels like. We have one more timestamp from this one. Don't miss this one. Okay. Pull some older videos because fashion shows, I feel like, did not always look like this. I see vintage photos of, Versace and Chanel, and they were all so classy, they were all so beautiful, and they were pieces of clothing that women would actually want to wear, and men. Like, that is where celebrities went to go, pick out their lineup for their, movie
As opposed to now?
premieres or whatever. But I pulled some of these, like this is a Versace runway show from 1995, and they're just all beautiful. They look like real pieces of clothing. They're not boring, obviously, like they're stunning and interesting, but people would actually wear them. They're not on a runway just for the hell of it. I have no problems with any of this. This is what they took from us. They took this.
Who's they?
And then they just put literally obese women walking through the mud. And that is what we have these days. And they took away the Victoria's Secret fashion show. So we all have a bone to pick. Somebody said, I love the pieces in this. They're actually beautiful and fashionable. It feels like today's designers purposely create ugly clothes. I hardly ever see anything in modern fashion shows that I really want to buy. In this show, I wanted almost every single piece of clothing.
Again, there could be a failure of the fashion industry to market what they're trying to do, but fashion shows are becoming like becoming artistic. Like it's a different trend. They're trying to espouse a different message.
Another person said, this runway is better than any of the garbage they try to pass off on us today. He was timeless in his style, class, and sophistication. I can't even watch what's happening on the runway now, again, because it's shock value. A lot of our society and culture these days is just shock value and trying to make things as ugly and sad and dark and depressing as possible. And no one...
Is it? Or are we reacting to the world, which is ugly, sad, dark, and depressing? Like, I don't know.
Or everybody has depression. No wonder everybody's struggling with anxiety and is medicating themselves. All right, here's another one. This is
Which political party wants to get rid of SSRIs?
Chanel from the 90s. So beautiful. So classic. They're definitely trying things with this. Like, they have a two-piece set. They have some interesting jewelry. But the clothes themselves are beautiful. And I could look at that and go, oh, okay, I know how I could wear that. It does.
She's not defining what makes the clothes beautiful. She's just saying these were what clothes used to be. Clothes used to be beautiful. Therefore... that's how we determine what's beautiful or not, just based on what people a long time ago thought was beautiful. That's ridiculous. Like, the world would fall apart if we just tried to do everything like that. Let's see what the founding fathers thought about gun control, even though they only had single shot muskets back then. Like, okay.
Doesn't look like a freak show. I love the natural diversity in a lot of these fashion shows, and these are from the 90s. And if you think about 2023 today and what they teach us and what we see online, you would think that all of these fashion shows were totally whitewashed. Black women were not allowed to walk on these. No, there was natural diversity.
You literally just showed an anecdotal picture. If you're gonna make that argument, I need statistics.
They hired beautiful models. People weren't freaking out about race every 5 seconds because we had all come together. It's just like...
Because white people told everybody to know their place, and other people didn't have an opportunity yet to stand up for themselves in a lot of ways.
Like, oh, God. It's sad to see where we are now because I truly think that we have gone backwards in a lot of ways. Somebody said...
Like making abortion illegal? I don't know.
They could walk. They had faces. They had presence. They had charisma. What a difference to those insipid runway shows of today. Somebody said, why can't we bring back classy clothes like these? Absolutely amazing how these pieces can still look effortlessly chic in today's standards. Yes, because they were time.